Hey guys, Tarke here with another skill tree update. I know I keep printing these out, but this is a really interesting build. It's something that I keep staring at and I keep making changes to. So in the last video, we made some pretty substantial changes to the tree. We cut a bunch of sections and we added in this elongation into shadow to pick up piercing shots. Now, there is still a little bit of contention over whether or not this will affect the minions. If you look live, it's something I'm traveling towards now, and it's something that I'm going to test because I'm not actually 100% sure if this will affect the minions or not. If it does, then I might keep it or spec into my new tree. I'll probably spec into the new tree, but I just want to test it now at this point. And if it doesn't, then I'll definitely spec into the new tree. So basically what we did is we cut some fluff and we stretched the points down a little bit to come down this way, pick up piercing shots, pick up this life here, and an extra jewel. But if you remember, we had issues where I was really conflicted because to do this I had to cut a bunch of minion damage, which didn't feel that great. I had to cut aura effectiveness. I didn't have access to, well, I had access to curse effectiveness, so I didn't have the points to invest into it. And basically we cut a bunch of minion damage to gain some damage here and to free up one of our curses. Okay, so what have I changed it to? I've swapped it to this. We still keep this aspects of the whole Eldritch Battery thing. We drop these points here. And we get the life back by getting these points here. This little point on the end is just there for quality of life. It's not needed in the slightest. It's just having that little extra bit of attack speed makes our curse on hit setup feel a little bit smoother. The cast speed makes our offering feel a little bit smoother, and the 10 extra dex is kind of helpful because we need dex in this build. If I feel like it's not needed, I won't take it. If I feel like I want a little bit of a cleaner curse on hit setup, I'll go for that. So these 4 points here to get 20% life equal 4 points here, and you get 20% life. You miss out some dex there, but you get some dex here, you get some dex here, so you get slightly more dex coming this way. And you have an option of trimming one of these points. So this life versus this life is more efficient. The 4 points from piercing shots. Now, if we're not running piercing shots, we need to go back to running projectile weakness. So you gain the damage of the projectile weakness curse, but you lose the survivability. So how do you make up for that? If you're not taking this, you don't run a drill neck. You instead run a rear guard, and rear guard plus bone offering plus roomies is block cap. And I think that might also be a nice way of getting around the no regen issue. A fully leveled bone offering gives you 500 life on block, and not having any regen felt really bad to me, so I was trying to think of intelligent ways to get around that issue. Well, if I have block cap, whenever I get hit, I'll heal. Well, 75% of the time when I get hit, I'll heal. It adds a nice layer of defense to the build, which makes up for missing a curse. Having block cap is stronger than having Enfeeble, in my opinion. We still have a very high effective HP pool. We have well over 200% HP in the tree. Once you add in a few jewels, we have 194% base and 3 jewels with this setup. You then have the Eldritch Battery Mind Over Matter on top of that, and so on and so forth. The other thing which I've done, and this is something I'm not too sure about, but this is purely a freeing up points. The 2 int nodes here versus these 4 energy shield nodes. Now these 4 energy shield nodes equal 38% energy shield. 38% energy shield for 4 points is pretty good. Energy shield is still effective HP. That being said, when we don't have like stupid amounts of energy shield scaling. Without these 4 points, we have 50% increased energy shield scaling. We'd run ES gear with life on it, and it's just a case of, do I want to have slightly more points spent on the tree, in which case you spend 2 points here, or do I just want to have a more effective Eldritch Battery mana pool? That will purely just be a case of, I need to play it to find out. So if I feel like we have enough, then we can save 2 points here. Otherwise, you just still listen. The points are still fairly low because we do go oak, kill, kill. So we do get +2 skill points from Bandits and 111 points. It's not like a crazy, this level 89 tree with the Bandits, so it's not like super high or anything. But the points you save up here let you pick up minion damage here, minion life into minion damage, minion leech, minion damage here. These 3 points are the worst of the minion damage. Oh, and also minion damage here. These 3 are the worst because you have to get a 10% life node and then a 10% damage node. But getting the life and the leech makes our zombies better. If you remember from the last video, we will be using zombies as just like meat shields. They will do okay-ish damage because we'll link them with minion and elemental resistances, which does have a more Ele damage multi on there. Remember, we do use generosity, anger, and wrath. So they'll do like okay-ish damage. They by will no means be part of like the clear speed of the build, but it's kind of, you just have some bodies there to eat up hits. They give us raw physical mitigation. They physically body block skills for us. And to fit this all in, we have, the Stone Golem, Raised Zombie linked up to be super tanky. And this kind of replaces the decoy setup, because with all the blinks and mirror arrows out, with all the zombies out, with the Stone Golem, we don't need the decoy setup, so we cut that out. This also takes the slot for the cast on damage taken setup in my current sort of plan. The links aren't like perfect, but here you would have generosity, anger, wrath. You can put the clarity. That doesn't matter where the clarity is because we don't need the mana regen, and our minions obviously don't, but you just need a level 1 clarity somewhere to get the proc from Commander of Darkness. Let's just pretend this 4 link is eaten up. Let's pretend this 4 link is eaten up. Then you would have Rain of Arrows over Split Arrow, especially with this setup. Having 100% pierce or some form of 100% coverage is very important for a curse up. This was something I didn't like about the other tree. The other tree only had 60% pierce on the Split Arrow. So that means you won't reliably always be cursing the entire screen, whereas with this setup you can do Rain of Arrows, curse on hit, and it will curse everything it hits. This is without the attack speed we'll be getting from Commander of Darkness, which will give us 15% attack speed. This is also missing some attack speed we can pick up here. So we should have, a pretty good attack speed when it comes to cursing, so that should feel pretty smooth. And, this radius isn't that bad, in all honesty. And this is just using a quality Rain of Arrows with a quality Rain of Arrows giving radius. So it'd be Rain of Arrows, curse on hit, Ele Weakness, Projectile Weakness. Vol Lightning Trap, you just have floating somewhere in your links. I'll probably run unset rings. Same with Desecrate, same with Bone Offering. I might just have the Desecrate in weapon swap because you don't really need Desecrate in your main setup. So you could just have the Desecrate floating in your weapon swap. But if you had 2 6 links, then you would have to use unset rings for both the Offering and the Vile Lightning Trap. If you're only running 5 links, you just have it in the off sockets. So basically it all fits in quite neatly. We're not that starved for links. But the long and short of it, by doing the most latest tree, there'll probably be a new one tomorrow, but I think I'm pretty happy with this one. Running with this tree, we get block cap and we get minion damage on the tree instead of running a drill neck and running this. So you lose the damage of a drill neck, but you gain damage nodes through aura effectiveness and raw minion damage, which is obviously pretty huge, and you miss out on 1 defensive curse, but you gain block cap, which is pretty huge. This is also assuming we're only running 2 curses. Sorry for the helicopter overhead, you can probably hear that. If we do get the corrupted gloves allowing us to do tri-curse, then obviously I would reinvest and I'd pick up Hex Master and Skittering Runes. But so far I think this is probably the best version compared to the previous. I do like the way this works. I will keep testing to see if this does interact with Blink/Mirror Arrow, but even if it does, I still think I prefer this setup. So that's kind of where we're going moving forward. Yes, I'm Tarke. The cat is asleep on the bed. Have a good day. I'll keep you updated. Bye-bye.